Welcome, everybody, to Every Woman Empowered's Chit Chat. And today,
Yay!
I am your hostess with the mostest. I am Shawna J. Serniak, the founder of Every Woman Empowered. And over to my left is resident artist and international artist, Jani Galarneau. And right below over there is Nelia Genoud. She is a certified laughing yoga instructor and Every Woman Empowered's happiness ambassador. And right below me is the lovely comedian Sabrina Sperber. Welcome, ladies!
Yay!
Now double, Pepsi, if you're out there, huge, would love you to sponsor us. Anyways, so ladies, I gotta tell you, you're looking totally fabulous. You know, everybody is saying that they're wearing sweatpants and, you know, pajamas during the quarantine, but look at us. No, I mean, we're bringing it. Look at the tiara on Sabrina. Look at Jenny's cleavage, like, hello. And I mean, and look at Nelia sitting back with her kingdom behind her and her magical robe. Ladies, you are looking sexy and fine. So,
Thank you.
what is everybody?
I do. Are you?
Well, thank you. So, what's everybody been up to in the quarantine? What have you been doing? Nothing. Okay, great. Well, the end of the show. Jenny, what have you been up to?
I've been painting. What have you been doing, Sabrina?
Oh, you guys, there's some things I started. Like I started cooking.
Oh.
And so I'm doing the two C's. I'm now cleaning and cooking. Cleaning isn't like sorting,
You've been domesticated.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I feel like
you're gonna make some great princess for some prince, I tell you.
Well, and it is sort of a very like growing thing because my staples were like fast food and restaurants because I love to socialize and it made it easier. And now it's like, well, you better learn to cook because you don't want to stress and eat yourself out by eating out. So yeah, but I gotta say everyone else has been has been doing a lot of exercising at home. And I learned from a recent video that I am not prepared to go that route at this time. I'm pretty sure that I would trip on a skipping rope right now. So, yeah.
Hey, at least you're brutally honest. Okay? Now, if we're going to be talking about honesty, now there's a quarantine going on in case nobody knew. And of course, here in Canada, we have this thing. It's beaver fever. And ladies, who would be your quarantine superstar celebrity to cure your beaver fever?
That's an interesting.
Everybody's quiet.
That's an interesting way to ask, Shawna. Considering I could only narrow it down to my top 4, and they're all very, very, very married. I would just love for them to just be stuck here. Let's leave it that way.
Yeah.
I like to go a little more pro-Canadiana. So I you know me, big sports fan. So I would still always invite Wayne in, Wayne Gretzky, my great one.
And I love how she does it by his first name. You know, Wayne. You know.
Because Wayne. Everyone calls him Wayne. Like way back in the Young and the Restless days. Then I know for sure Ryan Reynolds would probably even come to visit Edmonton, so I would love for him.
That's a 10. Yep.
Yeah, those are my 2 like go-tos because they are closer.
Yes.
And then quickly, I would love, you know, by week 4, 5, 6, when I'm like, please, it would be Tom Hanks because he's feeling better, and my Hugh Grant. I gotta just stay with what I know. Yeah, because I love all his movies. We can do them back to back. Yeah.
Hugh Grant was just in a movie called The Gentleman that I saw before the quarantine started, and I gotta tell you, he was excellent in it. He was hilarious. What about
I
you,
know.
Miss Jani? What would you have for your to cure your beaver fever?
Well, if I didn't have my fabulous husband,
Ooh,
I would have two. Because, like you said, I need bookends. I need bookends. So my first one would be Patrick Stewart from Star Trek and the Marvel movies. And you know what? Right now he's reading Shakespeare's sonnets, and oh, that voice, delicious.
something about that
And then,
accent, right?
yeah, oh, and then Jason Momoa, because
Yum. That's all we have to say about that, right? Yum. Okay,
yeah.
Miss Neela, what about you? Who's your celebrity that's going to cure your beaver fever? And don't say Oprah, because you can't use that one now.
No, I feel like I have one for every age range. So, yeah, I have to narrow it down too. Like I'm with you, Sabrina. I'd want to be stuck with Ryan Reynolds and his bromance. Actually, his best friend Hugh Jackman. He's also one of my favorite
Oh, he's
actors.
pretty bitchy.
Yeah.
Yes. So you just went from, was that the 30s and the 40s? No, 40s and the 50s?
Something like that. Yeah.
What about your 20s and 30s? Who would it be for your 20s and 30s?
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot.
Well, you know what? There's too many decisions, right?
There are. Yeah, there's so many great actors out there.
Yeah, I have to tell you that my go-to for quarantine and to cure definitely my beaver fever would be I first saw him in the 80s. It was a movie called Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Jani would probably know it. Would you know it, Sabrina?
Yep.
Yeah, Neela wasn't even born yet, so we won't even talk about that. But Keanu Reeves, he is my go-to man. He would definitely be the one that I would love to be quarantined with. And even if the quarantine, we were saying quarantine free and we could go back into reality, I don't think I would. I think I would just stay with Keanu and be very happy. So yeah. So
This
what
is
else?
going to be a gradual. This is going to be a gradual reentry into the rush that we used to have. So, like I said, I feel the need to really share this time, and I don't need to have them all four here at once. I could just separate it and draw two.
Right. You can unshackle one, let one go, and bring in another one. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I totally get it. So, ladies, do you have any great questions for Sabrina?
Sabrina, how are you staying positive in a time like this? You're a comedian, you're known for being funny and having a good time, but how are you keeping positive in these times?
Aw, thanks, Neela. Well, actually, I'm going to be honest because I think that's fair. So, when you, like for myself, I've had my down days. I've had a tough time sometimes. And so, but I like to just be real, and I let myself feel it. So some days though it's great, and I just want to be myself and be there for other people. So like this is great. I'm Zooming. We're doing like Google Meets, and just even hanging on the phone, which is what I grew up on in high school. So that was my that was my favorite out. And so that kind of though builds me, because I know whether it's me that's feeling better, or that I know that whoever I'm on the other end of the phone with or video conferencing with, if we're having a good time, gradually your mind is taken off of it. Like I stopped watching the news all day.
Absolutely.
There was things that I had to like learn that were like, oh, this isn't really good for you. So you'll always get the update. There is always something going on. You can pick whatever news network you want. And, and you probably won't believe any of them anymore, but that's another thing. But like you just learn to know, and that's what I've done. And it actually has worked for me because I think that my energy comes from other people. I'm like a real big extrovert. That's what I love to do. And my own stories are what makes my comedy. So don't worry, I'm coming out of this with a whole whack load of material.
Perfect.
Follow-up question. You said
Oh.
that you were supporting your friends. So how are you kind of doing that? How are you empowering other people to help them get through this?
I'm pretty genuine. And I think the key at this time, well, for just any relationships, like anytime you want to empower someone, you got to listen. Like, I'm a big talker, so I know it's tough for everybody to believe. But if you take the time to just listen, that's usually when everybody else is learning about themselves, and then it gets so much easier. Everything gets easier once you do that back and forth.
You're right. You know, that's you're so right about the listening. It's amazing how many people want to talk, but very, very few people really want to listen. And when you listen, that's when you really learn. That's when you are really in tuned, and it shows that you care. So thank you, Sabrina, for that. Jani, do you have any questions for the wonderful Sabrina?
I do. I want to know what your superpower is.
You know, Jani, I think that's an easy one. I would love to fly.
Fly.
I would love to have the freedom of flight, especially right now when we don't really know what the future holds for the next while. And I love to travel. And if it just meant that I could like look at where I want to go and eat like an extra can of spinach and just go to Spain and go to New Zealand, and you know, if I could do that, that's probably my one go-to.
So if you had like the one place you could go once, let's say for example, quarantine's up, we can now start to travel. What is the first place, if you had any amount of money, where would you go? First place.
I'd probably go see my friend Charlene in England.
Wow. So Charlene, if you're listening, get ready because Sabrina's going to come out and see you as soon as this is all done.
I can't wait.
So Jani, what about you? What would you do? Where would you go? What would be your superpower?
Oh man, my superpower? I do like flying, very much like Sabrina. My superpower, to spread kindness wherever I go. I think that I would want that to be my superpower.
You already did that, Jani.
You do that. You do that. That's not a superpower.
That's not a superpower. Come on.
You do it. You walk in a room.
Okay, you guys, seriously, listen up here. Okay, she's so full of you know what. Like, I'm wearing hip waders right now. Oh, I'm going to spread kindness. I'm going to be a little fairy spread shit. Okay, whatever. Nelia, what about you?
Obviously, I need to spread some over there.
What about you, Nelia?
I would want to be able to transport anywhere, kind of like what Sabrina was saying. Just think of somewhere and just go. And that's kind of where my background is coming in. Just the mountains are my happy place. I would just want to be there like that, not having to go through all the travel time.
Right.
The only difference, Nelia, between you and I is that I feel like transporting is something you would completely do, and with your mind. I just want the cape. So let's just be real. If I'm gonna show up on an interview with a tiara on, I want a cape when I can learn to fly.
I wanted to wear my tiara, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, pumpkin.
I didn't want to upstage you either, because you know what? You're our beautiful guest.
See, she is spreading kindness.
There she is. And she doesn't need superpowers for it. She's already got it right in her.
Maybe it's
super juice.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
to carry a bigger glass. That's all you need. The power to hold a bigger glass, Jani.
That's right. I do have another question for you, Sabrina. Who makes you laugh?
Oh.
Who makes me laugh? Okay. Well, I gotta say, shout out to my mentor, actually. He's kind of the wind beneath my wings. So I would say Paul Sveen, who is an author and a comedian, and he makes me laugh. He makes me laugh when he doesn't even try, and that's I know when he hears that, he's gonna, that might hurt his feelings a little, because I like poking fun at him. So it's kind of more at his dispense at this point. But he did get me into comedy, and yeah, he makes me laugh. He makes me, yeah, I think that having a talk with him is always so much fun. So, and I always learn, it's ironic because I always learn about myself when I'm talking to him. It's neat. It's weird, but true.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Paul Speen is a great Canadian comedian. He's actually resides here in Edmonton, and he does stand-up comedian classes over at E.W.E.s, and that's actually how I met Sabrina. Is I decided to take a class, and we met. It was so much fun, and you learn so much about yourself. And I strongly suggest to anyone, if you ever have the opportunity to take the class, go do it. It's hilarious. Paul Speen is awesome instructor. He just helps you and guides you along the way. And if you've ever seen him in any of his shows, he is hilarious. So big shout out to you, Paul. Anyways, so we only have a few more minutes here, ladies, and I know we have so many questions and stuff that we want to talk about, but let's get back to me. All right, so
In the end, it's all about Shawna.
Right, Shawna, take it away.
just kidding. I just
Take
kidding.
it away, girl.
But I was talking to the girls prior to all this, and I'm really proud of myself today because I put on fake eyelashes, and if you knew me, okay, I can't glue worth a darn, right? But these are those magnetic ones where you put an eyeliner and then you just put the eyelash over top and it just goes on. So yeah, like look at those. They're called M5s, and they are magnetic eyelashes. They're about $30, and you just keep putting them on over and over and over again. Jani, do you need to see me up closer? Is that why you're good?
No, it said actually our time was out.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, so I just want to big a shout. If you have any issues and you want a great, quarantine look, it's the eyelashes. So before we head out and say goodbye to Sabrina, can we get a couple words from you ladies about what our viewers can do to keep positivity and a great attitude for the next week until they see us next Wednesday? Jani?
Well, part of us, actually the three of us here, have started a walk and talk, and man, that sure helps. Or try to be creative. The weather is now starting to warm up a wee bit, and get into your yard, maybe dig some dirt, and get some of that vitamin D.
Excellent. Miss Nelia?
Yeah, I would just say get yourself laughing every day. Find some funny cat videos on YouTube or watch a funny movie. Just get yourself thinking about something that's going to make you laugh.
Love it. And last but definitely not least, Sabrina?
I go-to is play your music louder, get some sunshine, and pick up the phone and call that person that you've been thinking about that makes you laugh. They haven't talked to you in a while. There's no excuse now, you guys. You have lots of time.
Exactly. And
Very true.
one of the things that I learned is that we tend to, we get invited, all of us get invited to so many things, so many events, there's always so many gatherings. And how many times, we sit at home and we're like, you know what, I just want some downtime. I want to be at home. And now we're reflecting and we're kind of realizing, we're waiting for those times to go out again. We're waiting to see each other. And you're right, all three of you, we don't need to wait around and, for those times to be. We can pick up the phone, we can video chat. We have such great technology to reach out to everyone. And yes, I've seen my mom and, she's on one side of the window, I'm on the other, and we open up the window and we chit chat, and at least you still get to see your loved ones and those who are important to you. And I think, just keeping that positivity, staying away from any negative media. Oh, please stay away from that, from TV to social media. Unfollow those friends on Facebook that always talk negative or it's political. Keep positive, okay? That's all I can tell you. That's so important. Keep positive. And you know what? We just want to thank you for taking this time to watch us. And we will stay tuned for our next guest for next Wednesday. And we just want to do a big shout out to Sabrina for being here with us today. And once this quarantine is over, you definitely got to go and check out her shows. So thank you, Sabrina.
Yay!
And
Thanks for having me.
goodbye.